Yeah, baby, yeah, welcome back. It's Concept Soup, but I mixed it up this time. Not only am I wearing a stupid hat and sunglasses that make me look like some kind of alcoholic that's past it, used to skateboard and all that kind of stuff, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about my personal problems today. We're talking about this beautiful gaming PC build. We're mixing it up by putting the build at the start of the video and then having me gabbing on towards the end. Maybe that will help with viewer retention. Maybe it's more interesting just mixing it up to see how it goes. So let me know in the comments, did you prefer it this way? But anyway, this build, doesn't it just look beautiful? That's what we like to see here on Concept Soup. We like to say that things are beautiful. And it was, wasn't it? The O11 mini snow case does look the dog's beelocks, doesn't it? Because it's just so pure white. You've got that classic O11 dynamic look, but without such a large form factor. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. We've got the Lee and the ST120 fans, which are very, very bright, illuminating this case, and I think it all came together really nicely with the white cabling. This was a custom commission actually from JCPC Customs, of course, for a customer, so that's why, you know, maybe we didn't use the most premium motherboard and all those kind of things, just because we wanted to keep this within budget while still maintaining a really good look. But that's not to say this this motherboard wasn't nice. It works perfectly fine for what we've got in terms of hardware. It's just that, you know, sometimes when I showcase the builds, I like to go with the ones that have got the really cream of the crop parts. But hey, it's a different perspective. If I was to change anything about this build, what would I do? I'd probably chuck another fan on the back there just to fill out the RGB, but unfortunately that would have taken us beyond the budget required for this project. But yes, I think that Zoom Flow cooler looks great as well. But I'm talking about Zoom Flow coolers, I'm talking about motherboards. I haven't even told you the parts list yet. So let's just roll onto the parts list, and then we'll come back and we'll have a bit of a chilly chat, have a look at the gaming. You know how it goes. All right, I'll be back in a minute. This video is brought to you in partnership with jcpccustoms.com, purveyors of fine gaming PCs. But why buy from JCPC Customs? There are three pillars to what we do: enthusiast-grade build quality, stunning good looks that you are proud to display, and all at a fair price. But how do you get your hands on one? Well, we've got three methods. We have the ready-to-go PC section. These are PCs that are already built, ready to ship out with optimized specifications, so excellent for the most fuss-free experience. For those that want to spec out themselves, you can use our configurator listing, and this is where you can choose some lists of parts that we have available to us. But for the most granular experience, the truly custom experience, you can use our Custom Spec service, and this is where you fill out our Google form. You can choose every component, even down to the model number, and any other accoutrements that you also want with the PC can be accommodated here. So thank you very much for watching, and head to jcpccustoms.com to learn more. So our parts list, as promised, is right now. So our CPU was the Ryzen 5 5600X, 6-core, 12-thread. You know the deal. Very nice single core performance, fantastic for gaming, especially at 1080p, 1440p, absolutely fine. Even 4K, absolutely bloomin' marvelous. Very nice CPU all round. The cooler we're using today is the ID Cooling Zoom Flow 240s. This is an RGB liquid cooler, and it's actually a RGB as well, which does help sort of tie all the components of this system together in the RGB ecosystem. The motherboard we used was the MSI B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi, which I think is a bit of a hidden gem in sort of the B550 chipset lineup. MSI, I do like their boards in terms of being able to control the fan speeds. That's one of my bugbears that I have with other brands, is that the fan controls just doesn't seem to be as good. The BIOS is very easy to use. But the key thing with this one is it's got Wi-Fi built in. It's got a USB-C front header, which is important for this case. And it's 60 quid, which helped me keep this well within budget for the customer. I think it performs really well as well. I mean, I have no problems putting a 5800X on this board either. Maybe 5900X, you're pushing it a bit. I think it'd be fine, but I think for a Ryzen 7 might be the ceiling that you'd want to use for this motherboard to ensure good performance. Memory-wise, we have the Crucial Ballistics White. That's 16 gigabytes of 2x8, so 2 lots of 8. DDR4 3600 CL16 in that beautiful white colour. Nice premium RAM that's going to work nicely with this system. The storage, now our customer has a lot of games, so they needed a 2 terabyte storage solution, so we had the Western Digital SN550 M2 SSD, which is going to have plenty of room for the OS and all the games. The video card we have is the Gigabyte Vision OC RTX 3060 Ti 8GB. fantastic graphics card, this. I love it, and if you're going for a white build, this is the graphics card that you want, especially in this budget range. It's absolutely fantastic, really nice 1080p and 1440p performance. The case we're using is the Lian O11 Dynamic Mini, the Snow Edition, so this is pure white inside and out. Looks great. I mean, that's pretty much all you're buying this case for, is the looks, isn't it? I mean, if you're buying this case for the performance, there are better performing cases out there, but come on, you can't deny that this does look nice, and you can really deck it out with RGB. It's very modular. You can move things around however you like inside there. It does, however, limit you to an SFX power supply, so that's what we had today, and our power supply was the Corsair SF 750 watt platinum power supply. So this could be plenty for any components that you put in this in the future, unless for some reason the next series of graphics cards need a 1000 watt power supply. Who knows? Can't write anything off, I suppose. We've got our fans here. These are the Lian ST120 RGB. So we've got 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. The 2 on the side actually from the liquid cooler. We've got some white custom cabling, and we really love it when we're able to get that proper clean look on the custom cabling. It really does sort of set the build off. So that's the build. You've seen us build it. You've seen us talk about it. Let's test it. So, firing up a bit of the old Fortnite to start with. Our FPS average was 360 frames per second, and that is marvelous. And again, exactly what I would expect from a system of this caliber, which means that if you're one of these guys that's quite sweaty, quite competitive, you're going to be able to maintain a really nice high frame rate, especially if you've got a super fast 240Hz or higher refresh rate monitor. You're having happy days on this. Call of Duty Warzone, so we do test this in the practice mode, so I would expect this to probably be about 10% lower in the real thing. We were getting about 180 in the practice mode, so probably got some real gameplay up on the screen. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. That's how it goes on this channel. But you'll be able to see the FPS average there. It's not going to be too much shy of that, and so it's going to work really nicely on a 144Hz or higher monitor. And Warzone is one of these games that does require a bit of extra grunt in the hardware department. Red Dead Redemption 2 is our other sort of benchmark of choice, so we use the built-in benchmark here, and our average frames per second was 162. That's pretty nice for Red Dead Redemption 2, as it's quite a demanding game. Temperature-wise, how do we do here? Well, listen, I'm not expecting anything shocking here. Our CPU temperature was 68 degrees maximum on a Prime 95 30-minute run. And that's pretty good. So when you're talking about Ryzen 7s, you're probably getting up into the sort of the high 80s on this. So the 5600X doesn't take much to cool it. So it's no surprise that this ZoomFlow cooler did a really good job. We also take the equilibrium temperature, and this is where it settles down. So you get these big spikes with Prime 95, and then it sort of just smolders. Big spike, smolders. So we're in equilibrium temperatures when it's sort of settled away from that really high spike that only happens for maybe a second. Our gaming CPU temperature, 59 degrees, as you can see throughout all the gaming benchmarks that we've shown you. So yeah, that's the performance. You've seen it all. We've done it all. I want to know what you think. And, O11 Mini Snow at Christmas time, come on. Thematic. You've got to give me a like for that. So like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye now.